Batgirl and Nightwing must join forces to take down an evil hacker who has taken control of the Oracle network. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into the pages of Nightwing issue number 85 and find out together, shall we? So then, as we join the book, we're still dealing with fear state stuff. A fake Oracle has taken over the airwaves and has decided to spread fear and misinformation amongst the Gotham masses. Dick and Barbara vow to pound the pavement and move heaven and earth to find who's ever behind this bastardization of Batgirl's life work. Only they don't have to look at all, because the new villain, codenamed Seer, just kinda shows up out of nowhere to gloat. Well, geez, that's really convenient. Who the hell is Seer? For a second there, I thought I missed a whole tie-in or backup story, because seriously, why would the villain just reveal themselves now when before they haven't? The answer is, no answer. What we know for certain, though, is that Seer is evil and that she now knows everything that Oracle knew, which includes superheroes' secret identities and just about every other tasty piece of information she could ever want. Batgirl thinks she knows how to take Seer down, but to do that, they're going to have to get to Oracle's site too, basically a last-ditch backup that Barbara had created in case she ever got locked out or killed. Before our two heroes leave, though, on what is no doubt going to be a very dangerous mission, Dick tries one last time to try and talk Barbara down. After all, the experimental machinery that's keeping her spine intact could give out at any moment. But Barbara's mind is already much too made up. Oracle is her baby, her creation, and she can't stand by and watch it bastardized by evil forces. We actually get treated to a fun little flashback this issue of a young Barbara Gordon breaking into Wayne Manor to try and get Dick to come and hang out with her at night. After all, they had two very strict, very imposing fathers, which made cutting loose and having fun themselves all the more important and all the more exciting. Now, it's not lost on Dick either that Seer basically blew the lid off the Oracle program being in every video, camera, computer, and phone in all of Gotham City. That's a lot of power, and while Dick certainly trusts Barbara, he wonders what brought her to that situation in the first place. Barbara admits that everything she did was for the greater good, and she always justified going that little step further, but now that she sees how Oracle can be used for evil, she's beginning to greatly reevaluate all the different fail-safes she has in place. Eventually, Batgirl and Nightwing manage to make their way to the Oracle 2 base, but unfortunately, magistrate guards are already there. It's here the book basically out of nowhere tries to call into question who exactly Seer works for, even though literally everything she's doing only benefits Simon Saint and the magistrate. And by the end of the book, it won't matter anyway, but hey, let's throw some doubt into it just because. Batgirl and Nightwing fight their way past the magistrate guards and into Oracle 1, only to realize that the bad guys have already beat them to it and rigged the place with fear toxin, because hey, this is an event called Fear State, it deals with the Scarecrow. Did you really think we weren't going to finish a tie without doing some fear-based stuff, even if it doesn't really make sense thematically? As it turns out, Barbara and Dick's worst fear is losing each other. They have a little back and forth before eventually realizing that this is all an illusion thanks to Tim, who was already there. Which of course begs the question, how did they rig the room with fear toxin if Tim was already inside the room? Couldn't he have stopped them or maybe disarmed it before his friends got there? It also doesn't make sense with what happens next. For you see, Seer 2 actually already beat Nightwing and Batgirl to the Oracle 2 station. Even though it was supposed to be secret and have a bunch of fail-safes in place, I guess if Seer already knew everything Oracle knew, that would include the existence of the Oracle 2 base. It's a lot. You might also be wondering, wait, is Seer a person or a computer program? Does she always look like that? Well, we get to see beyond her digital construct and realize that she actually just kind of looks like that all the time. As the comic comes to a close, Dick and Barbara have the realization that if they're going to stop Seer, they need to stop her at the source, which is going to be difficult because she's currently broadcasting aboard the Magistrate's flying fortress. And so that was Nightwing issue number 85, everybody, and you could basically call this story Tom Taylor desperately tries to make lemonade out of the lemons that is the Fear State event. We pretty much see the perspective and internal monologue completely switch from Dick to Barbara because, let's face it, she has more skin in this game than anyone else. Nightwing just kinda tags along and tries to support his friend and family in this trying time, which is certainly good and all, but a little bit of a letdown that Dick ends up becoming a supporting character in what was his own book book. There's also just a lot of stuff that is slapdash and incomprehensible, like Fear State was already a super thin event, so why try breaking your own back to try and make any more of it make sense? I'm also not exactly a huge fan of Seer. She pretty much reeks of, well, I guess we need to invent a new villain because it's not like Nightwing or Batgirl can go fight Scarecrow or Simon Saint. That's reserved for Batman, don't you know? I'm complaining a lot, but in truth, this issue is actually a lot better than the one that preceded it. Just ultimately not by much. It's hard to shake the feeling that this is going to end up being something that you skip when you go back to read this Nightwing series, which is why I can really only give it a 6.5 out of 10.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cave Jewel, and if you're seeing me right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, which I am very appreciative of. It really helps drive engagement and retention and all that other good YouTube stuff. So does liking and commenting. Wink wink. If you like my content too, you should check out my Patreon page. We just redid all the tiers, so there's a ton of great rewards. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month, and well, it would just really help me out. It's never expected, but always appreciated. So until next time everyone, I've been Cave Joel, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.